Hi, guys. Good evening, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie, and in tonight's video, I will be doing my film review for the latest Marvel film to hit the big screens. I just got done watching it a short while ago at the theater, and I really enjoyed it. Captain Marvel. The film opened earlier tonight across the nation and hits theaters tomorrow, March 8th. And I saw one of the advanced Thursday screenings of it, and I really enjoyed it. And I got a lot to say. Now, before I begin, of course, please be warned: this film review, is full of spoilers. This is going to be a spoiler-filled movie review. Again, if you haven't seen the movie Captain Marvel and would like to, do not keep watching or listening to this review, as I will be discussing plot points, spoilers, characters, plot twists and turns, and other things. So again, if you have not seen the movie yet and you plan to, do not keep watching or listening to this video. And once you have seen the film, come on back and give this video a watch. I'd appreciate it. Excuse me. Okay, spoilers starting from here on out, starting now. Great movie. Really enjoyable. I think one of the things that I liked the most about it is that it took place during 1995, and there are all of these great 90s throwbacks and references scattered throughout the film. And what I really liked most about it is how it felt like a 1990s film. And for a while there in the beginning, when it's just Fury and Marvel exploring her origins and investigating this light speed machine that she and the Skrulls are after, it was kind of like a classic buddy cop film from the 90s, where you've got two cops who are forced to work together reluctantly, and maybe they don't get along at well first, but they gradually come to trust and respect each other. And I feel like the relationship between Captain Marvel and Nick Fury was very much like that. It was very much like a 90s buddy cop genre film, and I really dug it. The way the action sequences were shot, the music that was used, the look and feel of it. This really was, this could have been a 90s Marvel film if Marvel had made this film in 1995. And I thought that was one of the most charming, interesting aspects about it. I really loved how this movie answered a lot of questions. It answered what happened in Nick Fury's eye, where Captain Marvel was during the events of Infinity War. It explained more about the Kree and explained how she got her powers. At first, I thought I was under the impression she got her powers through the blood transfusion when they found her and they injected some Kree DNA in her, and that's what gave her strength, which was really only half the story. It turns out it was the destruction of the light speed engine is what gave her powers. She absorbed all that energy, and that's what turned her into the energy dispersing super weapon that she turned into and eventually becomes. And that was just really cool. Great action sequences, some great fight scenes between her and the Skrulls, between her and the Star Force. I really liked the plot twist regarding the Star Force, between the war between the Kree and the Skrulls. It put an interesting spin on it. It also makes sense because this movie is canon, and it also makes sense if you look at the history of the Kree that was revealed during the first Guardians of the Galaxy film. They're a fairly violent people. They eventually made peace with Xandar. Ronan the Accuser and his followers were not on board with that, which is why they splintered off into their own faction. It was great seeing him again and Korath in this movie once again. Their roles weren't that big, but it was nice the screen time that they had, and I could see the part they had to play in the story. But what I think I really enjoyed most was just, Carol's journey into remembering who she is, where she came from, and human or Kree, superhero or not, that she was a strong, powerful woman with absolute grit and determination, and that grit and determination is what helped her free the clutches from the supreme intelligence and then truly empower herself into her final form, which is the flying, shooting energy beams out of her fists and punching crazy punches like that in outer space and on planet Earth like that. And I think that was my favorite part of the film, was her remembering all of these past events from her former life, from when she was a kid, when she was training in the Air Force, and then she uses those memories to strengthen herself and escape the Supreme Intelligence and start kicking ass. And I really enjoyed Goose the Cat. I can see why people said the Goose the Cat was such a scene stealer. It turned out to be an alien called a Fleckum or a Flurkum, which was really funny, and he came in handy during parts. And then when they first launched from the prototype Quinjet, if you guys caught that detail, it was basically a prototype Quinjet that would basically be used by S.H.I.E.L.D. later. I loved how Goose, was floating around in space as the stowaway. And then turns out that he has all those tentacles that shoot out of his mouth. Oh, and he's the one who accidentally took out Fury's eye. Now it's interesting because Fury had a line going way back to Captain America: The Winter Soldier when he says to Steve Rogers, "Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye." Now he could have just been lying to Steve to make his point about the argument they were having, or it could have been a truthful statement where he was holding the cat. He's like, "Oh, look at you, kitty, aren't you so cute?" And the cat swiped him, and his eye was already pretty damaged from previous fights in the film, so the cat scratch did not help. But wow, what an entertaining, fun movie. I loved where Fury got the idea for the Avenger Initiative, seeing the word Avenger on Carol Danvers' original fighter jet. That was pretty cool. I also loved the post-credits scene where it shows the Avengers trying to figure out Fury's pager or beeper, and sure enough, Black Widow spins around, and there she is. Captain Marvel is right there, and that's going to lead us directly into Endgame, just coming out in over a month. So that's pretty exciting too. Overall, solid superhero origin story film. I really enjoyed it. I like the twist where they spun around, they turned the tables on who were the good guys and who were the bad guys, and I really liked that. The Skrulls at first started off as creepy goblin-like monsters, basically, who were just like a vicious, vile race, but eventually you form a sense of compassion and empathy for them. And I really got to hand it to Ben Mendelsohn. He plays a great bad guy, but he played a great good guy in this film as well. So hats off to him and the whole cast and crew. Everybody did a great job. It was really entertaining. I'm probably going to see it again. What did you guys think of the movie? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you expecting more, expecting less? How do you think the events of this film are going to affect Avengers Endgame? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section. I'd love to hear from everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the night. Captain Marvel is now playing in theaters nationwide. Check your local listings for times and tickets. Have a great rest of the night, everybody. Thanks again for watching. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.